I'm Bob Gallerstein with this week's Melrose Credit Union High School Weekly Report. If you know a deserving student-athlete who you think is worthy of a $5,000 college scholarship from Melrose Credit Union, look below my face where it says, click here. And that's where you nominate your student-athlete to win a $5,000 college scholarship courtesy of Melrose Credit Union. A student has to be not only good athletically, but also academically and also in the community. Melrose Credit Union, you can get there from here. From the top 10, number one, obviously, Don Bosco Prep is going to roll the table. We'll get into more of Don Bosco Prep's game against St. Peter's for the Jersey Championship next week. We're going to have that game December 5th, 1:30 live here on 1050ESPN.com with a live audio webcast. St. Peter's, for the second time this year, beat Bergen Catholic. Now, it's unfortunate that St. Peter's lost its first game of the year to St. Joseph Philadelphia, because then the only blemish on the Marauders' record would be the loss to Don Bosco, and that was a 42-9 game. But anytime you beat a team the caliber of Bergen Catholic, a much improved Bergen Catholic team, twice in one season, you're doing something right. In this case, it was a fairly significant, really sizable victory for St. Peter's over Bergen Catholic. So it wasn't a case of the game was close. It was 26-23 back in September. St. Peter's clearly the second-best team in New Jersey heading into Giant Stadium. Now we get to the most controversial part of the top 10. Bergen Catholic is finished with the season. The Crusaders are 8-3. They are now fourth on the 1050 ESPN Top 10, because moving up to number 3 is St. Anthony's of Melville, St. Anthony's of the CHSFL. The same CHSFL, which has a quality team in Iona Prep, the defending champ, the 2008 champs, Iona Prep, which lost to Bergen Catholic 38-2 in the first game of the year at Giant Stadium in September. Now, you may be saying, how can Iona Prep, after what happened, how can St. Anthony's be placed ahead of Bergen Catholic? When I started the top 10 this year, it was a case of, I don't look at records, I look at, can this team beat that team? Clearly, Iona Prep is not as good as it was last year. But St. Anthony's, after the way they looked against a superb Holy Trinity team, and I'll get to the game on Saturday in a second, after the way they looked on Saturday, I think that St. Anthony's could beat Bergen Catholic if they were to play each other this Saturday. As a matter of fact, the seasons for both schools are over, so why don't they play this Saturday? I think that's a game I would love to do that game. So St. Anthony's, in a game against Holy Trinity, a game heard here on 1050ESPN.com, won the CHSFL title by the score of 28-21. It was 0-0 at the half, and we had Holy Trinity Athletic Director Chris Hart on at the half, and he said it was like two heavyweight boxers trading blows. It was the most scintillating 0-0 half that you'd ever want to see. It had everything. Intensity, fury, great chances, goal line stands for each team, and then the offensive explosion in the second half. St. Anthony's didn't necessarily, I should say Holy Trinity didn't necessarily lose the game. It may have run out of time and had to recover that onside kick with 1:03 to go in the game. I think that Chris Laviano would have driven him down the field for a game-tying touchdown. Of course, maybe Tony Massey might have gone for 2. Maybe that's a question I'll ask him sometime in the next few weeks. But we will never know because it didn't happen. So St. Anthony's, I think, could be Bergen Catholic. St. Anthony's is 3. Bergen Catholic is 4. And Holy Trinity will finish the season at 5th in the 1050ESPN.com poll. A terrific season for Holy Trinity. Number 6 is St. Joe's Regional, which will be playing Don Bosco Prep this coming Thursday. And even though that game is going to be in Montvale, it's going to be another Don Bosco victory. It's a bit of an off year for St. Joe's Regional, but St. Joe's Regional will have a rematch against Immaculata in the non-public Group 3 championship game. That game's going to be at King College. And I think that St. Joe's could possibly win this. It's a down year for St. Joe's, yet they could emerge with another group state championship. St. Joe's second-best team in New Jersey last year, probably the fourth-best team this year. But somehow Tony Karsich finds a way to win. Not going to happen this Thursday, respectfully, against Don Bosco, but I think it will the following Saturday against Immaculata. And so that brings us to Wayne Hills. And Wayne Hills is, boy, did they escape. Overtime at Sparta, and they emerge with a victory, 41-38. So Wayne Hills is going to face an old foe the following weekend at Giant Stadium, facing Ramapo, a game that they should win. We'll get into that game next week. Now, Fort Hamilton, I keep on making predictions on this webpage, and these predictions keep on falling, other than Don Bosco. That's like taking it to the house. That's an easy one. But I predicted Monroe Woodbury to win the New York State Championship. Monroe Woodbury was knocked out by New Rochelle. We'll get to New Rochelle in just a second. I predicted Fort Hamilton to win the PSAL championship. Fort Hamilton earlier this year beat Curtis by, I think it was 14 points. Who won this past Saturday in the PSAL semis? It's Curtis. Curtis, who won the championship 2 years ago, is now going to face arch rival Tottenville in the PSAL championship. We'll have that live here on 1050ESPN.com this Saturday at 12 noon. And I think this is going to be a Curtis repeat. And I should say at least second championship in 3 years. So it'll be Curtis Tottenville, a terrific game from Midwood High School in Brooklyn. But we're putting Curtis at 10, and I'm putting Monroe Woodbury, whose season ended last week, or 2 weeks ago, at number 9. And you say, why? Monroe Woodbury finished the season 10-1. I'm doing this because not only was I so impressed with how Monroe Woodbury played this year, but also because, and I know it's preseason, scrimmaging, Monroe Woodbury scrimmaged Susan Wagner. Susan Wagner beat Curtis this year. And Monroe Woodbury controlled Susan Wagner in the scrimmage. I know it's a scrimmage. I know it's late August, early September. That's the only common thing I have to go with, but that's how much I believe in this Monroe Woodbury team. So I'm going to keep Monroe Woodbury at 9. Now, New Rochelle is up there because they are the best public team in this area. And New Rochelle beat Saratoga Springs up at Kingston. And again, that really should have been at Saratoga Springs or at New Rochelle, but they wanted the neutral site. So the Section 9 champs, the winner of Section 9 versus Section 1, and also the other section in the state with Saratoga Springs, New Rochelle goes to the Carrier Dome against North Tonawanda. Honestly, other than a few clips on YouTube, I don't know much about North Tonawanda. I always think those Western New York teams are overrated. So we're going to go with New Rochelle to be the New York State champions this year. I'm Bob Gallerstein, the weekly high school report brought to you by Melrose Credit Union. If you know a deserving student athlete who you think is worthy of a $5,000 college scholarship, click here right below my face and nominate that person to win a $5,000 college scholarship. See you next week.